What is the biggest everyday scam that people put up with? Ticketmaster and their sale policies. We arrest/fine/ticket people who scalp outside of venues, but it's perfectly legal to resell the tickets on Ticketmaster or StubHub because the website gets a kickback, and that's just messed up to me. Also processing/convenience fees when no other option to purchase exists. Cell phone data. They sell it like it's a finite resource, like they'll run out if they give you too much. But yet if you don't use it all that month, nanobit rolls over. In Canada we also pay the same amount of money for 2 GB that other countries get 100 GB or more for. I heard that one of the gigabyte mines ran dry recently. Looks like a rate hike in the future. They gotta ration those gigabytes. Susan G. Komen Foundation. People love this for some reason. I hate that. You make a donation. Most of that money pays the board of execs. Barely any goes to research. They're about awareness, not research. God, I hate them so much. My mom had breast cancer when I was in high school back in the early 2000s, when they were really ramping up, and I did some research to find a good BC charity to support. I was totally shocked at how little actually went to research, and nobody believed me for a long time until word started getting out later. Donate to the American Cancer Society if you want to make a difference. Not sure how scam this is considered, but internet package prices. It is super easy and cheap to provide basic internet speeds these days with the foundation we've already laid, so when ISPs charge insane amounts for a mediocre package, that's very much abusing their regional monopoly powers. Like Spectrum. We had TWC and had 300 Mbps internet for $69.99/month. Spectrum took over and our speed slowed to 100 Mbps, but they marketed to us as it being a 5.00 savings. Now they say that their lines can't handle any faster speeds. Why can't we live in a world where we don't have to expect that any call from a number not in our contacts is a scam or spam 99% of the time? I'm job hunting aggressively right now, so every call in my area code could be an opportunity, and it's so disheartening to think it's a potential job and it's just some scam. It breaks me a little more every time. Side note, have these gotten way worse over the last year for anyone else? October was especially bad. I get at least 5 calls a day on weekdays now. It's definitely exploded in the past few months. Even with RoboKiller on my phone, it still gets the first ringing before RoboKiller stops it. So annoying. Paying a giant cable bill to watch commercials. Yup, the original selling point of cable was no ads. How quickly we forget. Yup, that's why I'll never pay again till commercials are removed. Promises to take money up front instead of showing ads. Takes your money. Takes ad people's money to F you. Calls you a thief for retrieving content under the terms of the first deal and not getting F'd. Head. Outrageous title insurance fees every time you buy or finance a house. $50 FedEx fee please, but the docs were mild. Having to give your email address out to basically any company you buy something from, so they can spam your inbox. Yes, I'm aware you can unsubscribe, but it's a pain in the A. I've got a life to live, and it doesn't involve meticulously curating my email inbox on a regular basis. This is why I have a Gmail account that is strictly for junk mail. I know the password for it, so I can log in to verify if I need to, but otherwise, I never check it. If you tell the truth I won't get mad, which usually turns into no, I'm not mad, and then 2 minutes later, I just think it's funny how, not with my dad, he went straight to the belt when I told him the truth. Learn to lie quick. When he said that, I hate that this has become a trap. I'm a teacher who legit will give students significantly more leeway if they are just honest with me instead of lying to my face. Documentation fees when buying a car from a dealer. When I bought my car in August, I hammered out all the details before closing on Tuesday, leaving with a written price and a promise to come back the next day with the check from my credit union. Wednesday morning I come in with everything ready, only to have the person looking at the final paperwork with me quickly gloss over the $150 documentation fee. I stopped them there and said I'd brought a check for $X. not $X plus $150. They insisted it was necessary and non-negotiable. I insisted I'd take my business elsewhere. Have a good morning. They hemmed and hawed about it, but eventually got permission to lower the price of the car $150 so my check would be enough. I tend to let people walk all over me, so I was really proud of myself for standing up this time. That sort of bullshit happened to me when I bought my current car. They had me there for 8 hours also, so by the time they brought up all the new fees and nonsense, I was tired and said fine, next time I'm going a different route, similar to what you did. Never dealing with that again. F dealerships. Good on you for calling that shout/you/vaginal tyranny. Bolt on fees for bullsh that takes no time at all and generally doesn't have material cost, booking fees and the like. I'm looking at you. Convenience fee, processing fee, administrative fee, late payment fee, early payment fee, fee. I recently had to pay an extra $2 to get a PDF version of my unofficial college transcript instead of a paper one. I can finally chime in on something. A lot of these weird PDF/scanning fees for universities and government offices were put in through legislation many years ago. Before the regularity of this technology, these fees were meant to help fund the technology infrastructure in these campuses/locations. The good thing is, these sunset legislations are obviously built into overfund. For example, it doesn't take 10 years worth of fees to fund scanners, internet connectivity and everything possible associated with scanning. The bad thing is, these fees have been built into the budget, and the departments now depend on it. Their corresponding lobbying groups will absolutely be fighting in the legislature to keep these fees coming in the same or different way. Your example may not seem common, but it's the same as a lot of government entities with scanning of documents and printing things, marriage license, copies of birth certificates, etc. This is some of the unsexy stuff that goes on in the state legislatures, but really do affect most of our lives in some way or another. Got into an argument with a gym when signing up. They advertised no startup fees, then during the process, informed me of a card fee for the membership card. When I argued that they were just calling the startup fee by a different name, they didn't agree, didn't sign up, so I can look forward to paying the card fee every time I come. No, it's a one-time fee, just at startup. Gym I was going to sign up for did the same. No startup fees, but by the way we charge a $180 annual upkeep fee the third month you're with us, even though your membership itself is $10 a month. Ticket bastards. The one that kills me is the $50 fee to file my taxes electronically. If I did it on paper you're going to have to pay someone to put it into a computer. I just did that for you. Why are you charging me a convenience fee to save you time and money? Apple, orange, lemonade drinks, contains 0% juice. Jelly juice the woman gets destroyed on Dr. Phil about her Sudotion CH still making a killing. If drive. Phil says no point then it must be really bad. Well, it's rotten cabbage sunty that causes horrific diarrhea beautiful waterfalls. She claims it can cure the gay and regrow limbs. It was a spectacle that neither Drive, Phil nor the producers of his show had to engineer much. Paying service fees when paying for something online. Delivery charge on tickets that you are printing at home is another one. Delivery charge for will call tickets, like WTF, Ticketmaster GRR, backquote handling fee on each ticket, even when printing or downloading at home. Absolute cowboys I hate that they are usually the only way to get concert tickets. Direct-to-consumer prescription drug marketing. People shouldn't go to the doctor and ask for a drug they saw on a commercial by name. That's just insane to me. Commercials like that are illegal in my country. You can only advertise over-the-counter medicine. Only legal in the US and New Zealand. Apparently Canada also allows it, but with some restrictions. I'm not sure this qualifies, but payday loans. I haven't ever done one, but they are obviously all over, and they prey on poor decisions made by poor people. Hundreds if not thousands of % interest, just because people can't get out of the trap that they put you into. Predatory lending is just awful. People get into this routine and can't get out because they are drowning in fees. that we have no effing control over our own technology. I can't turn off Cortana. I have to edit like 30 things to F with my core files. Tech is getting less and less friendly to people who actually want to mess with it. At least Linux is a thing, and more stuff is supporting it. 50% sale on every effing shop window. If you've paid for something that isn't at least 30% off when at Kohl's, then you are doing it wrong. At Christmas, my in-laws spent half the day recounting how much of a discount they got off each present and the amount of Kohl's cash they either used or received from the purchase. It's like a sport to my spouse's family. When JCPenney experimented with moving from a coupon/sale model to an everyday low pricing model, sales tanked. People love feeling like they got a good deal. Even if most of us know by now MSRP is bullsh, they've since moved back to the classic depth store model, up to 50% off. Don't discuss your pay with fellow employees. Part of me understands that it's kind of tacky to do so, but I read that it was the company's way of not paying people what they deserve. I've never heard a company directly say this, but it is so ingrained in US culture they really don't need to. Beauty product commercials, especially mascara commercials. They are like, wow, look how good this mascara is, and the woman is so clearly wearing false lashes, and anti-aging ads featuring 21-year-old models. Come on now. Not only is the model wearing fake lashes, the fine print at the bottom of the screen states as much. Apparently, it is okay to lie, as long as you call out your own lie in the fine print. Take a look on YouTube for US and UK versions of the same mascara ad etc. The UK ones have to be representative, but the US ones are legit to the hilt. Black Friday sales. The thing that made me realize how effed it all is was working in a furniture store. We were selling these small storage ottomans for Black Friday. Regular price, $39.99. Sale price, $19.99. You know how much we paid for them? A refine dollar. I'm breaking my NDA by telling you all this, lol. Last year, I was at a store looking at coats in late September/early October. I happened to notice one I liked and bought for $30. Went in early November to look at something else, and the same coat was now around $50. Went in on Black Friday and the coat was on sale for $35. Textbooks, at least at US universities, depending on the subject, they can cost anywhere from $100 $400 USD per book. New editions are released annually to ensure that the content remains up to date and the price remains high. For an egregious example, I had a graduate level economics course that required a $300 textbook, $150 when rented for the semester, which actually had an international version available online. That was the exact same book, but instead cost $60 retail. The only thing is that the book was listed as being not for distribution in the US. I spent $150 on a lab manual this semester and it didn't even have any binding, just the pages. F them. Seriously, one of our lab manuals was a PDF file that we had to print ourselves. Still $150. My school has a required class for business majors that requires a $400 loose leaf textbook. They don't even bother to bind the book. The best part, the professor wrote it. Yeah, that has been on the Ethics Council's docket for a while now. How the F can a book cost a student $400? WTF. That's outrageous. How can students be expected to pay this kind of money? Just write PDF into Google instead. That doesn't always work. Even though you might be able to get a copy of the book, these Fs have now started included homework access codes that can be used one time only. And the university sucks their dicks and it's a huge circle jerk and the students suffer. A few weeks ago I was in London, enjoying many of the completely free museums they have to offer. I wondered why such world famous museums would be free when they could easily charge money. I saw a sign that said, "This museum is made free due to lottery funds." And I thought it was really cool how lottery taxation and profits in London go towards making something so amazing free. I don't know how much lottery money in the States really does go to helpful causes, but I hope it's a lot and isn't just a scam. In Georgia, it pays for heavily subsidized in-state college tuition. In Georgia, watchdogs have been claiming for years that the numbers on the lottery and education funding don't add up, but thankfully the governor addressed the issue. and made it illegal to release information showing where the lottery funds actually go. I do know that in Minnesota the state lottery all goes to the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, which maintains state parks and provides grant money to schools/groups that do environmental studies and projects for environmental preservation. The new and used car market in the United States. I don't think there is a field more shady and potentially harmful to the consumer. Various forms of MLM, and those naive people on FB defending schemes they work for. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a multi-level marketing job. B. This is pyramid scheme. My niece has recently got involved in one of these. When I met her recently, she kept shoehorning it into the conversation about how she's running a business. I hate MLMs with a passion. No, you're not running a business. You're a customer recruiting other customers, to which you sometimes get a perk. Yeah, my neighbor sells, it works, and I try to avoid her at this point because she is constantly trying to recruit my girlfriend to sell under her or trying to get me to buy products for her. Also makes grandiose claims that it's helped her lose 20 pounds over a few months, etc. I've known my neighbor since school. We are roughly the same age, and she was at most 110 pounds soaking wet. If she lost 20 pounds she would be dead. College textbooks, you change a goddamn picture and release it as a new version, and broke college kids have to buy it. It's the goddamn worst. Pearson is worse. F. Pearson. Buy a $200 new textbook. At the end of the year the bookstore will buy it back for $14. Nothing shady about that at all. Paying for parking at a hotel you're staying at already. Razor blade prices. Winston, do you got any razor blades I could have? Not one. I've been using the same one for 6 months myself. That damned book never ceases to be relevant. Buy a double-edged razor and kit, and you will recoup the money spent on expensive blades in no time. You can get around 100 feather blades for £10. Before bearding myself I would use each blade 4 times maximum, turning it twice. What's a feather blade? Selling water at a few dollars a bottle. Multi-level marketing schemes. Similar schemes bankrupted entire countries before, but they somehow churn along just fine in the form of Amway. Me and my fiance had our unborn child used as a selling point for our friend's insurance finance. MLM was the very first thing she said to us. Stop talking to her after that one. r/and That is a fun little Reddit rabbit hole that will kill a few hours. Mom's losing money. Junk is approaching you at the train/bus station with a bullsh story. Like, buddy, I just worked a 12-hour night shift and I forgot my cash at home. Could you give me 50 cents so I can grab a coffee and a ticket to get home? It becomes a bit awkward if you see the same guy with the very same story 3 days in a row. 10 years ago I visited Leeds in the UK. On my way to the station a man approached telling me he needed 20p to get his bus home. He'd forgotten his card and thought he had the right change. I didn't have change, so apologized and moved on. A year ago, 9 years later, I was in the very same station, and he was still there. He asked again for 20p to get home, and explained the situation. I had to give him the money. Can you believe it? He'd been there for 9 years and nobody had given him 20p. Built-in obsolescence. Consumers spend good money to buy products that are designed to fail or become obsolete in order to stimulate further sales. Not only that, but replacement parts become unavailable or are so expensive to buy and install that consumers end up replacing the item completely, even though it should have much more useful life. This is mine too. So hugely immoral and unethical, but people like getting new toys, so it's barely noticed, unless you're poor. Ink prices. Doesn't even cost them a quarter to manufacture the ink, yet they're selling it $60 plus. LPT4 toner. The way your printer detects the level of toner is to continuously shine a laser or infrared beam from a source to a receiver. This beam goes through plastic windows on your toner cartridge. When the cartridge is full, the beam can't make it to the receiver, but as the toner is used, the beam can be detected. To avoid this, place duct tape over the plastic windows, and the beam can never make it. I seriously got over 500 more pages by doing this trick. I seriously got over 500 more pages by doing this trick. Do printer manufacturers hate you? Buy a laser printer. I have a brother laser printer which I bought for $100. The toner doesn't dry up over time. Each cartridge prints around 1,000 sheets and you can buy knockoff toner cartridges that are around $30. Can confirm. Brother is an excellent printer brand. One toner cartridge lasts 4 years, and if it slows down, just shake it a little and it's good to go. And I've never had jams or needed to go to the store to buy cyan when I'm effing printing in black and white and I'm out of yellow now. What the F is happening? The fact I am getting 5 to 10 spoof number spam calls a day now. That should be punishable by mob beatings and being fed to pigs. Somebody called me the other day. I answered in hopes of pressing 9 or whatever to be put on the do not call list or get a real person and say take me off your list. They usually just hang up immediately, but whatever. It was a real person that got a phone call from my number. I was pissed off to be getting calls. Now I'm more pissed that my own number has been used for this spoofing I get 4 or 5 of those a month. I'm getting tired of explaining to old people that no, I did not call you. My number was spoofed. Yes, that is a thing. That happens quite a lot now, and please stop calling me back repeatedly. I'm not a telemarketer and was not the one that interrupted your nap, you nasty old bee. I get so many calls from almost my own damn number. Why do they think that will make it less suspicious? My grandmother was called by her actual freaking cell number a few days ago. They ghost the numbers in. None of them are real. I have dozens of blocked numbers on my phone and it barely slows them down. Healing crystals and other quackery like this. People paying top dollars to get a stone which does nothing else than just look good. As someone who loves rocks and minerals precisely because they look good, screw all the scammers driving up the price of quality specimens with their new age bullshit. All those click here to claim your free ads. College tuition in America. Comcast. Effing Comcast. We wouldn't let Bill Gates install Internet Explorer on his computers, but Comcast/Time Warner exist. Comcast once shut down our internet on a Sunday for potential fraud. Then won't let us call because it's a Sunday and our fraud department isn't open. Call back tomorrow. Comcast is awful when you're their customer, but as an integrator they are effing poison. They have started a new policy that if there are more than 3 pieces of equipment being installed they have to send out one of their techs cause apparently 4 cable boxes is too complicated for anyone but them. I spent a week and a half waiting for those a-holes to do something I could have done in an hour. Too bad we are the only high-speed internet provider in town. Rub nipples. Seriously. F Comcast. Food labels. Good source of whole grains on sweetened cereal. All natural on orange and apple juice. No high fructose corn syrup on bread that has bleached white flour and some other form of sugar. The best is low fat. When we are finding out that fat was never the issue, it was the sugar and carbs that caused diseases. The food industry is biggest scam in the world. Don't you like my low fat water? Is it gluten free?